students, today we're going to have a look at the language features of a narrative text. Our lesson objectives, I want you to write these down please. We are learning today to consolidate our understanding of narrative text language features. What I'm looking for is identification of examples of the types of language devices used in narratives, and we're doing this because of our picture book assessment that we're working towards later in the unit. So the narrative language features predominantly are descriptive language, okay? So the author paints a picture with words so that the readers can imagine what is happening in the story. So some examples of language you might find in a narrative text are a use of a range of verb types, usually written in the past tense, nouns to name people, places, or things, use of adjectives to describe those nouns, and the use of adverbs to describe verbs. We also know that narrative texts use language features. These are things that we looked at last term, like simile, metaphor, onomatopoeia, alliteration, personification, and rhyme. Let's have a look at those parts of speech there. So nouns, adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. What I would like you to write down is just the parts of speech and their definition so that you can remember those, because I'm going to get you to have a go at doing this same activity yourself shortly. So here I've modeled the section of text from The Gingerbread Man. We read that last lesson. And it's got many nouns, adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. So you're going to be identifying these parts of speech in parts of text, I should say. So your task is to complete the 2 worksheets identifying nouns, adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. They look like this, okay? They're already on Moodle for you to access. And then you need to upload that work to the submission box on Moodle so I can make sure that you have a good understanding of nouns, adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. You don't need to follow the colours that are listed here. If you don't have those at home, that's perfectly fine. Just make sure that you give me a key so that I know which are your nouns, which are your adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. So you only need to look for nouns and adjectives on the first sheet, and then look for verbs and adverbs on the second sheet. The second part to our language that's used in a narrative are those language features that we looked at last term, so simile, metaphor, etc. I've put a definition here just to remind you. This has also been turned into a worksheet for you to complete your own example here. So I've provided some examples from Hug for Humphrey, which we read last lesson, and you're going to record your own example of each of these language features as well, and then save and upload your submission to Moodle. So we're just consolidating our understanding of language used here, and then we're going to start applying this to analysing some picture books.